Hey guys, I'm Gamer back here for another video, guys. Today we have the tight end slate for DFS for this upcoming Sunday slate. Keep in mind, this is the main slate. This is not going to be for the other slates, which is the showdown slates Thursday, Sunday, Monday, and Monday. I do have separate videos going down, breaking down all those slates. So if you want to check them out, make sure you check them out on the channel. Sunday and Monday night slates will be posted either today or tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that. But when it comes to this slate, we have right here, Travis Kelce is back. Mark Andrews is back. So they're the top two tight ends on this slate. And they're going to be heavily over usage for this upcoming, week. And it makes sense. Listen, everyone, when it comes to, those two guys, they're going to be absolutely, everyone wants them, right? Because they think they're going to go out there and put up 60, 70 points. Now, for Kelce could potentially put up 60, 70 points, if you're being honest here. He has a great matchup versus Jacksonville. The problem with Kelce is he was a limited participant in practice on Thursday. We're going to see how healthy he is on Friday, but because of his injury, he might be on a limited snap count. Now, I'm sure they're going to want to utilize him as much as possible, especially how week one went, how awful that was for Patrick Mahomes. But I think he could potentially be on limited snap count, and 7,600 is a lot to pay for a tight end. It really is. When there's a couple tight ends this week I really like, and I will say Kelce is probably not one of them because of his price tag and because of his over usage. I think he's going to be over, everyone and the mother is going to be going after him. Now, Mark Andrews, like I said before, it looks like he will be playing this week. It's not 100% confirmed yet he will be playing. He is questionable going into this game, but he did remain a limited participant in practice on Thursday. He did not. He also was limited on Wednesday, so it looks like he will play. But he's another guy who could be limited with snap counts. The Ravens have Isaiah Likely. They have Charlie Kolar. They have other options. They went crazy this offseason with all the receiving cores to make sure they had a receiving core that they can trust moving forward. And then again, you got to keep in mind the Bengals, who are they playing this upcoming week, it's going to be a little bit of a rainy game. Not too bad, but there are some rains in the forecast. And then number two, you got to keep in mind that the Bengals have Jermaine Pratt, they just paid money to, and Logan Wilson. Logan Wilson is one of the best coverage linebackers in the NFL. They no longer have Trey Flowers, which was kind of like their guy who would cover all of the tight ends for them. But Logan Wilson can still cover tight ends very, very well. David Njoku last week did look pretty okayly decent, not too crazy. But overall wise, this defense is going to be scheming for Mark Andrews and Zay Flowers. So I will say I'm going to be fading both of them this week. Until they're 100% healthy and back, I just don't really love them this week in this matchup. If I end up losing because of the fact that they go off, then I'm just going to lose the fact they go off. Because there's a lot of other tight ends I like this week. And of course, I just want to mention this one more thing, that there is another tight end on this list here who is hurt. That is Darren Waller. He plays Arizona this week, but he was limited in practice on Wednesday and on Thursday. So keep in mind, watch out for his Friday status to see where he is going. But going down this list here, I love Evan Ingram. Ingram goes against Kansas City Chiefs. They don't really have that great of a defense in the linebacking department. I think he can get behind the defense. Trevor Lawrence could find him multiple times. He could put up great points. 4,800 is not really that, crazy ask for when it comes to his price tag. Sam Laporta, he had a good game last week, and I think he could repeat this week against the... Let me just double check here. Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, so Seattle, again, I think Seattle, they do have a pretty decent linebacking core. Nothing too crazy special, but I think they could have a pretty dang good, he could have a pretty dang good day yet again. I do have Kyle Pitts as a maybe. I also have Tyler Higbee as a maybe, and Gerard Everett as a maybe. The reason why I have Gerard Everett, I'll start with him, is because of the fact that, yes, he's 4,100. I like his price tag, but I don't know if I love him in this upcoming game, right? Austin Eckler, if he does play, which right now is questionable, he's going to be limited, I feel like. And that's going to draw a lot more attention toward Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, and Gerard Everett. And I think out of all those options, Gerard Everett is going to be the, guy who really can't get out of that, more attention. So that's why I don't really love him that much. Now, the other two guys I will have here is Kyle Pitts. I think this could be with Cordell Patterson returning. This could be a, run fest. It could just be Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, then Cordell Patterson, and that ends up becoming just that. And the last option I'll talk about here is Tyler Higbee. I don't really like him. I don't like anything that Rams offense has. I know last week they did pretty okay. He had 8 points last week. I don't trust that offense moving forward at all. Now, the only tight end I have on this list that I actually have as a no is going to be Jake Ferguson. Now, Jake Ferguson is the backup tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. And last week he did have 3.1 points. Again, he is the backup tight end. Actually, is he the backup now? Or is he the starter? I thought the Cowboys got another tight end. If I do believe correctly, let me see. They got... Oh, well, no, he is technically the starter, actually, because Shoemaker isn't actually... Yeah, he's now the backup. So, yeah, and never mind. Ferguson is their starting tight end. And you might look at last week and say, okay, well, he did do pretty... he had 3 points, but the offense in general for the Cowboys didn't really do anything. The Jets have Zach Wilson at quarterback. There is a very good chance this game becomes a blowout sometime in the second quarter or third quarter where that Cowboys defense absolutely wrecks Zach Wilson. I'm not expecting this to be a competitive game at all. I'm really not. So if the Cowboys get it by a lot, they're not going to be throwing the football. We're going to see a lot of Deuce Vaughn, and that's pretty much that. So not too interested in going, heavy into this situation with, Ferguson here. I just don't think he's going to have that much potential. And his price tag is $3,300, which isn't too ridiculously crazy. It's more on the, I would say, more reasonable side. I don't think it's like crazy reasonable, but I think it's more on the reasonable side. I just don't like him this week. I just don't really think he has, he's going to put up that much points, right? And it's really about, it's always not always about like, who I like, who I don't like. It's really about who is going to return the best value for you that said week. So, again, sometimes there are players who are, coming in here at 3,000 or 2,600 that could be a better value than someone like Kelsey at 7,600 if I think that, they can return more value. The more value you have in your lineup when it comes to different players, the more players you can get in your lineup that are better, right? And that's really what it comes down to. It's not coming down to like every single position needs to be the best position, but you want to have as many of these good players that go off in that said week in your lineup as much as humanly possible, while you are still avoiding as much chalk as humanly possible, so you're not, just having a copy and paste of everyone else's lineup, and you're sitting there with your thumb in your butt, right? Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one.